everybody. I'm a third-year PhD student at the Department of Surgery and Cancer based in the South Kensington campus. And my name's Sabrina Lamour, and I'll be talking to you about my student experience at Imperial College. So how did I come here? I grew up in Germany, actually. So I went to an international school, and then from there I took a gap year out. And in the gap year, I ended up, after babysitting my siblings in Surrey, I finally managed to escape and do some work experience at a biotech company in Germany, in Heidelberg. And from then on, I went to do a bachelor's in biomedical sciences at Durham University. I really developed a passion for immunology and microbiology then. But as immunology paid a bit better, so I ended up choosing an immunology job. So 2 weeks after I graduated, I already started working as a research associate in a company called UCB Pharma in Slough. I didn't live in Slough, I commuted from London to Slough. Just to clarify this, Slough isn't the greatest place to live. And then from then, I decided that I should probably start doing a PhD, because in science, often a PhD will really boost your career prospects, and promotions come a bit faster with a PhD. I only wanted to work initially for about a year or so at the biotech company. I ended up working for 3.5 years because I got used to bonuses and departmental dues and et cetera, but we're going through a phase of companies were closing down sites and downsizing, and my department was actually affected, and I thought I might lose my job, so I thought I might as well leave and do a PhD. Of course, as soon as I got the interview, I found out that I actually was going to get the promotion, but now, because I was leaving, I was no longer entitled to the promotion, but that's life. So I came to Imperial, and I was lucky to get one of the MRC doctoral training program awards for my scholarship and for my master's. I did the MRes and biomedical research, so that was this 2 6-month lab projects. So I'll just show you what I've been doing. Obviously, I've been working. I've been doing stuff on tropical parasites. So I work on leishmaniasis, but I've also done some little work on malaria. So that's, both of them are protozoan parasites. I'm really interested in tropical infectious diseases. And doing the MRes was really a nice way of trying before you commit to a PhD project. And also for people who don't quite know if a PhD is for them, the MRes was quite good because it gives you a sort of taster. You get to see which groups you fit in well with, which groups you don't fit in well with, and you learn lots of new skills. So here's just a gory picture of some ulcers of leishmaniasis, which is the disease that I mainly work on. And on the right is one of the pictures which I literally just submitted yesterday to a journal. So that's essentially my PhD project, where I've been combining metabonomics and look at metabolites of mice which have been infected with a parasite, and some mice don't do well, so they end up dying, and some mice actually heal off very quickly. And so I combine looking at metabolism, looking at the immune system, looking at gut microbiota, and we actually found out that the mice that heal already just after infection, there's a lot of communication happening between all the different host responses. So this is hot off the press. You heard it here first. Moving on, what else have I been doing? I've been jetting off around the world as well as within the country, so to different conferences. Next month I'm off to Cambridge to talk about my work at the British Parasitology Society. I've been to Texas last year, where I went to a Gordon conference. I managed to get an award to go to the Ivory Coast. I work on tropical parasites, and I'd like to actually see what that means in real life. So I ended up going to the Ivory Coast. I was involved in a conference translating between French into English. I look a bit ill there because I was just recovering from traveler's diarrhea. Don't eat salad on the first day. Fresh salad in a tropical country is not a good idea. I recovered, luckily. Here I'm staining some slides where I was looking at malarial parasites from school children, and this is just some nice scenery of the Ivory Coast. So that was 1 month, and I really enjoyed it, and I wrote a report and everything. Then I came back to bleak old London. What else? We've been doing the training courses. So we had the talks earlier today talking about those transferable skill courses, those award-winning courses on networking. I just finished one on the FUMO course, which stands for Finish Up and Move On, where they give you good leadership skills as well as helping you with your CV and discussing career options afterwards. I'm a STEMnet ambassador, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics. So I've been going into schools to talk to young kids and inspire them to take on science in their career. And lastly, I also was a head choreographer for my street dance society. So in the African Being Society, there's some performances. We were performing in the Sherfield building a few years ago. So my first crew was only 5 people, but then the second crew ended up being 12 people, so we were increasing, so sold out. So yeah, it was lots of fun. So you obviously have a lot of work to do, but you also combine it with your social life. You do have a life outside the PhD. And just last few tips. Make sure you inform yourself before you commit to any course or to any group or to any supervisor. And when I say inform yourself, I mean actually talk to the people, because you might see on paper that they have loads of publications and you think this is going to be a great group, and then you go there and you realize that you might not be able to work well with them. Some supervisors are breathing on your neck all the time, whereas others you never see. So you really have to try and find the balance of what works well with you, if you like the people there, how many students are in the group, how many postdocs are in the group, all these sorts of questions. Don't be afraid to try something new. I ended up doing metabonomics just because it had an omics at the end, and I thought I'd give it a try. I realized that it was a lot of statistics, so I thought maybe I shouldn't do that. So I tried something new for my second master's project, and in the end I realized that stats wasn't too bad after all. So that's why I ended up doing that for my PhD. If you're stuck throughout any of your time here at Imperial, don't be afraid to ask for help. And this is more important actually with your work, your PhD work, because I see so many PhD students and master's students who are in a rut and then don't bother saying anything, and then the problem doesn't go away if you don't address it. So just please go and talk to people, talk to fellow PhD students, your tutors and your supervisors. And my last tip is good time management. Don't be like me and leave too much to the last minute, that you've now got too much work in the final year. If you would have done a bit more work in the first year, it might have been a bit better. So I'm in a lastminute.com rush phase. And yep, just like to say thank you. And the 2 people in the arrows are my 2 supervisors, and thank you for the organisers for asking me to talk, and all my sponsors. Cheers.